Trace the timeline of human civilization back to the year 1500, and you find a wall, the exact moment our reality executed a sudden system boot sequence. Historians view antiquity and the Middle Ages as a sequence of lived events, but the simulation hypothesis suggests these eras are a pre-programmed lore file injected into the system to provide context for the current rendering environment. So, you're claiming the last few thousand years are just a massive historical forgery? That every ancient empire was fabricated by people in the 16th century? That framing assumes human intent. Instead, we should look at these historical anomalies as hard-coded system errors in the underlying architecture, glitches that reveal the engine's original settings. These glitches begin with our own biology. Our physical bodies operate as digital avatars, rendered from highly efficient compiled machine code. A basic code review of the human genetic sequence reveals a strict logic governing the entire architecture of the species. As this blueprint shows, the healthy human avatar requires exactly 23 pairs of chromosomes to successfully compile the biological frame. Pairs 1 through 22 function as shared libraries in software architecture. They load identical physical meshes, organs, hair color, and metabolic rates for every human instance before any individual variables are applied. The 23rd pair acts as a late-stage Boolean switch. This I-else-else logic gate sits at the very end of the command chain to determine the biological gender of the render. In software design, magic numbers are hard-coded values used to optimize a system. Choosing a 23-pair array balances the diversity at human avatars with the processing power required to render the simulation. The genetic blueprint mirrors the efficient, modular structure of object-oriented programming, all centered on this single integer. Even if the body is coded, how does that math explain the complex, messy timeline of world history? The simulation uses procedural generation to save memory. Rather than scripting every year individually, the engine uses fractal math to project its core biological variables onto the environment. By squaring the 23-pair avatar constant, the algorithm arrives at a chronological multiplier of 529 years, the base unit for the historical timeline. The programmer then constructs major epochs as sequential 529-year blocks, ensuring the world remains mathematically consistent with the avatars inhabiting it. To render the Byzantine era, the system multiplies 529 by 11. It then applies a 311-year offset, a consistent variable pulled from the Seleucid math library, to output the date 5508. The same logic builds the Jewish era. The algorithm takes 9 units of 529 and subtracts 1000, a variable also used to calculate the Roman timeline, to generate the date 3761. This creates a timeline where historical figures are simply NPCs executing repetitive tasks. Their apparent copy-paste errors, re-recording the same events with slight variations, are actually loop errors that pad out the duration of the simulation. This side-by-side comparison proves that the microscopic human blueprint and the macroscopic ancient world utilize the exact same shared mathematical core. The biology and the chronology align perfectly. The entire system is running on the same math. This internal programming explains why the number 23 constantly surfaces in human theology, most notably in the global recognition of Psalm 23. It appears again in our historical orders. The Knights Templars, from their foundation to their dissolution, recorded exactly 23 Grand Masters. Even religious revelations follow the code, with the Quran portioned for release over a strict 23-year period. These cultural patterns represent the avatar subconsciously recognizing its own source code, projecting an internal numerical constant onto external myths and structures. Ultimately, human beings and the entirety of ancient history operate exactly as lines of code executing inside a simulation. Looking closely at the Vitruvian man reveals the measuring tool of the programmer, the core integer of the engine.